Hey everybody, and welcome to the Block Party where we go over everything nerdy stuff. I'm your host, Captain Zeus, and today we're going to go over all the Easter eggs we found in the previous episode, episode 8 of WandaVision. Spoiler alert for anyone that has not seen the series so far or has not seen the latest episode, we will be going over the Easter eggs and details we may have missed in it. So right after this intro, we're going to go right into it. Start things off, the Marvel logo does go from red to purple to indicate Agnes's power, whereas it usually just stays red. Red is kind of the symbol color for the Scarlet Witch, that just shows that this episode Agatha is in control. As we go into the backstory of Agatha, we learn that she is a Salem witch, and we do see that she is CG'd to make herself look younger, and we do notice that they do the witch's chant in Latin, and the Latin translation is death to the monster of nature, which is definitely very interesting, especially because apparently she delves into the darker side of witchcraft. We also notice that the other witch's magic is blue, whereas hers is purple. It could be because she is, the one that delves deeper into the darker side of magic. Could just be because it's unique to her. We don't know. Agatha's mother does form a crown over her head when she's performing more of her magic, whereas no one else, at least witchcraft wise, does not have a crown over her head. Could indicate that she's like the leader of the witches there, which we kind of get a vibe or a feel off of as we watch this little flashback. There is a waterfall in the background, and it could be a parallel to Wakanda. Later on, we do get to Agatha talking to Wanda. Agatha tells the rabbit that she's surprised to meet the real us. This could indicate that the rabbit is either her son, Nathaniel, or it could be her cat, Ebony. But it definitely indicates that her and the rabbit are able to either communicate or that she's just messing around and having some fun, I guess, which would be weird. I hope it's the former, not the latter. On one of the protection spells, you can see the indication of the letter M, which could be a reference to the House of M, which this series is very heavily based off of. We do get a name for the fake Pietro. So there's a little something for you guys. We got a name for him. The Latin chanting that Agatha does say when she plucks a hair out of Wanda's head, it translates to relive memory, which you do see something similar that Doctor Strange does in Thor Ragnarok when he plucks a hair. On the door, there is 9 circles, which could could be reminiscent to the 9 members of the Covenant. At that same time, the music score does resemble the end of Infinity War, which is pretty sad considering that's when a lot of people died, and that's when she had to kill Vision and then watch him die in front of her all in the same span of 5 minutes. The box set of Bewitched didn't come out till 2015. The box set of Malcolm in the Middle didn't come out till 2002, and the Dick Van Dyke Show, the season set, didn't come out till 2003. Now, in the flashback, you can see that this is obviously 80s, 90s, somewhere around there. They're definitely younger. It's not in the 2000s, especially because this is before Stark turned from his ways, which was 2008. So this definitely shows that her memories are still either mixed up and jumbled, or there could be a break in the timeline to have those things available back in that time. When you do see her mother closing Wanda's eyes to find the secret hiding spot for the Dick Van Dyke Show, it was a callback to the Sokovian greeting in episode 1 of the series. A little something for you guys. The Dick Van Dyke Show is a depiction of how Westview is modeled from, at least in episode 1 for sure. You can tell, especially because when it goes black and white and how the episode kind of plays out, it's very reminiscent. When you see the Stark missile there, as we kind of known, or at least kind of knew, the Stark missile noise is the same noise that the Stark toaster makes in the episode 1 commercial. Now you can see the transition from young Wanda to current present day Wanda is a form of childhood trauma flashback to kind of transition that in for you guys, which is understandable because that was a very traumatic moment in her life. The music score does, from that point, transition to like the classic Avengers theme or something reminiscent of it as it goes to the Hydra door. We do see that the Mind Stone one is confirmed to show the futures or help show the futures of the person that is experiencing it, and it shows Wanda in her true Scarlet Witch form. Afterwards, you do see that Wanda's in her room watching, another TV show. The doll in this show that she's watching is very reminiscent of the same one that Vision uses to practice changing a diaper on. So that could have been another callback to a previous episode there. As we go to the Hydra agents, looking on the screen, going over the recordings of what happened with Wanda, you see the words and numbers of Koba, Kobha, number 7512. This is a reference to Captain America 1968, issue number 131, where the Hood tries to defeat Captain America through his past. That's reminiscent to this episode because Agnes is trying to figure out what's going on in Wanda's past, that led her to this moment, and the past moments are all traumatic stuff. So it could be a way for her to help defeat Wanda or attempt to. So that's a little connection there for you guys. When you see Vision and Wanda having a bonding moment in one of the other flashback rooms, you do see Agatha wiping a tear away. It could just show that she's not like this super heartless villain, that she might actually somewhat care about Wanda at least a little bit, maybe like a longing because they're fellow witches. You do see her kind of like try to help her out throughout this entire episode, like, hey, this is good for you, going through the past, reliving all of this to try to help you do it. These are basic spells, you should know this, you got to do this and this to do it. A very mentorish kind of role like she does have in the comics. When you do see Wanda go into the sword base, on the back poster, on the back wall of the office, there's a poster with the sword symbol and the constellations on it. One that does stand out is Gemini, and Gemini is obviously known for twins, which is kind of a theme throughout here. There's the Maximoff twins with Pietro and Wanda, as well as with Billy and Tommy. So later on, we do see that when Wanda's talking to director Hayward, it seems that he knows that Wanda can bring people back to life before anyone even thought of the possibility that she was able to. So that shows that this guy was already planning everything from the get-go and already knew more than he probably should have. When Wanda says, "I can't feel you" to Vision, it's a callback to when, Wanda would tell Vision, "I can feel you," or they would have those connecting moments back in like Civil War, Infinity War, that kind of stuff. And it was just a very heartbreaking moment, to say the least. When she does leave and enters Westview, pre-Hex, the bottom of the license plate, you can see that the word Excelsior pops up, which little Stan Lee reference for you guys, because that guy's amazing. R.I.P. When you do see Wanda kind of break down, the house builds itself in kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, as well as the red theme, very reminiscent to a House of M. A lot of House of M themes and references going on throughout this entire series. As the hex starts to build itself, you do see one of the advertisement boards switch to the Lagos paper towel advertisement, which was a commercial in one of the previous episodes of the show. So you do see that there, and it says like it'll be clean in a snap. So that's a little something cool that you guys may have missed. As Agnes or Agatha is talking to Wanda, she does, tell her that she's explaining like, you're super powerful and yet you're over here making breakfast for dinner, which that's a callback to episode 1 when she had to make breakfast for dinner because, for Vision's boss, because they butchered actual dinner. When she's holding the twins as well, you can see that her fingers and fingertips is turning black while it's holding the twins. So that could be that holding them back is taking a lot from her. It could just be a side effect from using her powers in her true form. Also in connection to how she's fighting against Wanda, we don't know, but that's a little something there that I definitely missed first time around. At the end, well, first of all, we hear her we hear Agatha call Wanda the Scarlet Witch for the first time ever in the MCU. Afterwards, the screen turns off, like it does in every episode. But this time it doesn't say, please stand by. There's no please stand by screen. So that's definitely an interesting thing. Shows that this isn't TV show anymore. This is like regular MCU stuff. Once we get to the White Vision post-credit scenes, you see that White Vision's forehead has a arc reactor instead of the Mind Stone on there. You can also see Vision being White Vision, which in the comics, he was basically emotionless. He wasn't an android. He was basically, he was just a computer. He didn't have any emotions. He had the memories of previous him. His White Vision version is somewhat complicated in the comics, but the fact that White Vision's here does show that he's alive in some way, shape, or form. But those are the Easter eggs and details you may have missed that we found inside this episode. I know it's a little late. This weekend's been kind of busy on our end, but we will try to get the Easter eggs for this final episode coming out to you as soon as we can. We will definitely post a video about our thoughts on the entire series as well. But if you guys want to see any other Easter eggs, go check out our other videos. We'll have a link somewhere so that way you guys can see that. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments if we've missed any of the Easter eggs as well, or what you think of the Easter eggs that we found or details that we may have missed. I'm Captain Zeus. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.